Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
And interesting, we have paid our debt down, off, actually, and we're nearly on the bones of our ass at the moment, with no income. But we want to get our land titles for our house. And we're just going through the process of that. And I've just been questioned quite deeply this morning as to whether I'm likely to mortgage it again. Why do I want the titles? Now we've paid it off, so it belongs to us. And I just came away from that phone call, the questioning from the bank employee, going, why are you asking these questions? So, and we have to pay the bank and the government to get our titles off the bank, which means even though we own it, they still have a vested interest in the property because they own the titles at the
How much do you have
moment.
to pay to get the title?
The bank charges a couple of $100, and I'm not sure what the government charges. I'll have an email in this afternoon about that. But it's not, yeah. So it's additional expense just to get back what we think we own. Now there you go.
Piece of
Yes.
paper.
That you can print off on your computer because you're not going to get a real one. So we are paying.
It's a piece of paper, isn't it anymore?
We are paying to take back our own rights, perceived rights. There's the word, perceived rights. So if you leave your titles with the bank, like even if we were going to mortgage it with somebody else, why do you need to know? Yeah. And there was, and we were asked whether we owed any money elsewhere and all the rest of it.
It's their business, is it?
Well, I don't know, because I really don't know how many powers they have, or what I'm glad of is that we're doing it, because because most people don't bother to, because it costs to get them back off. But what happens if if you are freehold and a bank goes under and it owns your titles, because it does own the titles until you take it back off them? What rights does that give them?
Very good question. I do.
Yeah, I'd really like to. It's never entered my mind before. I just thought, oh yeah, they're ours. We're just got to pay for I thought we were just paying for the process of doing it, which we probably are. But obviously it confers a certain amount of control, more than I had thought of.
We need to
research that.
Somebody who's a financial person to give us the answers,
Yeah. So I'm just glad we made that decision. So,
well, what made you think of even asking for the title then? I would have just thought this is just
you thought you automatically got it back, didn't you?
I just thought you go in that it's like a car. You go and pay off your car loan and you own the car. And even the whole time, unless you've got a security against it and that lien's, gone because you've now paid it out. But the car's in your name and it's just yours. So I assumed that a house was the same.
Well, that's interesting too, because I said something about car registrations to somebody recently who's going through some challenges, and she said, you don't own your car just because it's registered. Well, from what my understanding, she's going through changes in ownership and stuff. If you're a married person and you've got a car registered in your name, it's still an asset classified under both.
Yes, I did know that. How did I know that? Yes, I had to navigate that.
And I just hadn't thought about it, so just... Yeah. We really don't, it's not something we go into. I mean, how ownership works over a lot of things. But it just unnerved me. And this is just a conversation on the phone, one conversation last week at the bank with the manager, and then this morning's conversation on the phone. And I'm like, why are you asking so many questions? It's the same as if you go in to take a certain amount of money out of the bank, they ask you why, and they have the right to, and you're supposed to answer. So, and I thought it was $10,000 where you had to, by law and above, that you had to answer that question. I watched a clip the other day of someone in Australia being arrested. He probably went off his tits because they wouldn't give him his $2,500 out of his account to buy a motorbike. And then he probably went off his tits at them, and got arrested, I imagine, for that. But the basis of it is that he didn't want to answer the question. So, and I sort of thought, well, if I want to get some money out, or Tony wants to get some money out of the bank, what are we going to say? Because it's, in our belief, it's none of their business. Legally, they have to ask. It's part of their charter for the staff to ask. So what do you say?
She's king.
Yeah, but cash doesn't.
People hide cash under their mattress, can't you?
I know, but it
Like,
depreciates.
you don't have to answer questions about why do I want this 20,000. However, you go to buy a vehicle, and I do know, like, somebody that was selling cars, and as soon as the purchase is over a certain amount, they've got to fill out paperwork as to who bought what.
Yeah. So, that opens up a can of worms. Like, if you just stash your cash under the mattress, like people used to say, it devalues because all the prices go up.
It does. However, at the moment, with our interest rates, it doesn't increase in value in a bank anyway.
No.
It's still
When we built our verandas, they cost a lot of money, and I just went and got 9,000 out at a time because legally they weren't allowed to ask then. I don't know what I'd say. I would give a perhaps silly answer, quite frankly. You know, but not something that would get me in trouble. I'm not going to say I'm gambling, you know. So it's a wedding present for a friend or something. You know, just anything.
Buying the yacht to stash my drugs so I can go and earn more.
Yeah. But of course that would set up flags and they'd have to report it. So, and I mean, that system has saved people from losing their life savings. Like, they had another one where a little old lady had gone in there to get money out so she could go and buy those cards. You know, scammers get them to buy these cards. Yeah. So, I know that there was plans to bring it right down to $2,000. I don't know whether they've done that. I haven't seen anything about it. I hope not, because that's just ridiculous. But we think we've got control over our assets. We think we've got control over our money, and we don't. It's a fallacy. So, and it just brought home more, realizing that the bank still had control over our property, even though we didn't owe anything on it. And I was asked if we were owed money anywhere else as well.
Yeah.
So, and like, you would think it would be just the debt with them that would be the issue, but So
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I should ask Mum whether she's got the title to her house then.
Yeah, you probably should.
Ever since Dad passed away.
Passed.
Actually.
Yeah, find out, because it could be sitting in a bank somewhere.
Interesting. She probably
doesn't.
See, this is the thing, Dee. Not everybody cares about this stuff.
Well, people don't ask questions or think deeper. I didn't care previously. And we decided to get the titles off another property we had, because we were going to sell, we sold it to people we know. So, and I literally flippantly said, it was a very cheap place, it's just a shed on a block. And I flippantly said, oh, let's get the titles because then we'll have them in our hand for 5 minutes. You know, it was sort of symbolic of having cleared debt at that level. And so for that, it was symbolic. And I don't remember getting asked those questions. No, I don't think I did. The value was very different too. It just kind of threw me this morning and thought, oh, well, that's interesting. If you want to, yeah, why are you questioning why I want something that I believe belongs to me?
Regulation that there is here in Australia, we're very highly regulated, all of our financial services.
Yeah.
And sell it to us that it's to protect us, but it certainly does give the regulators a lot of control, doesn't it?
Yes.